I'll call the regular Planning Commission meeting of Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 to order. Everyone please stand for the pledge salute. Mr. Van Duker, would you please lead us?
Please place your hands over your hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioner Kinderwater.
Present.
Commissioner Kaufman.
Here.
Commissioner Al-Rawi.
Here.
Commissioner Van Duker.
Here.
Vice Chair Flowers.
Present.
Chair Sheeler.
Here.
Thank you.
We have, now it's time for the consent calendar. We have one item on the consent, which is the minutes from June 10th meeting. Does anyone from the commission or the public wish to pull the consent item for discussion? Do I have a motion and a second to approve and consent the consent calendar?
I move that we approve the consent calendar from the June 10th meeting.
I second that.
Motion by Commissioner Van Duker and second by Commissioner Al-Rawi. Can I have the roll call, please?
Nancy, can we take this all at once?
Is it all one?
All at once is fine.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next is public comment. This portion of the agenda is available for the public to address the Planning Commission on any issue that is not on the agenda. There will be a limit of 3 minutes per speaker. I welcome anyone who wishes to address the commission regarding a topic or issue that is not on the agenda this evening to please approach the podium. Seeing none, we'll move on. We'll move on to our regular calendar item this evening, which is to receive the presentation of a use permit for Sam's Club. We'll first hear a presentation by staff, followed by commissioner questions, and then we will open it for public comment. May we please have a staff presentation?
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Stephanie Louie, an Associate Planner with the City's Planning Division. Tonight, I will be providing a brief presentation on the Sam's Club Field Expansion Project. So the project is located at 7147 Greenback Lane, the existing Sam's Club fueling station. The site is zoned SC, which is the shopping center zone. Fueling station requires approval of a use permit within this zone, and the existing station was approved back in 2002 to allow the installation of the fueling station to service 12 vehicles. And with the current proposal to expand the existing use, this triggers a modification to that previously approved use permit. So the project includes a request to approve a use permit modification for the proposed fuel station expansion project. The project includes the addition of 2 new gas pump islands, and it'll expand the existing canopy to cover those new islands. It also includes a closure and removal of a driveway on Fountain Square Drive, as well as landscaping, paving, and restriping. So the purpose of the expansion is to help reduce queuing and backup within the site, particularly during peak fueling hours. So in this slide, it kind of gives an overview of the site plan for the proposed expansion. The project will require a lot line adjustment to accommodate for the expansion, which is a separate application process, and it is required as a condition of approval. As you can see on here, the orange dotted line shows the existing lot line boundary, and the blue dotted lines show the adjusted lot line as well as the expanded canopy. The goal of this expansion, again, is to improve traffic flow and reduce queuing and backup within the parking lot. To help with this, the existing planters will be extended to match the north-south queuing pattern, and the planters to the left of the station will be moved to make space for the new fuel islands. Cars may enter the station from the north near the community center, shown with the green arrow, and exit to the south, shown with the orange arrow. So with the original use permit, it required a traffic study for both the gas station and Sam's Club. The previous study remains relevant, and this minor expansion would not cause a significant impact to the existing conditions. With this project, planning reviewed and confirmed that there are no new services provided, such as diesel or an alternative fuel. And again, this is a members-only gas station, so traffic impacts will remain consistent with the existing conditions. And then in the next couple slides, we'll go have a deeper look in the proposed expansion. So this slide shows the actual expansion area of the fuel station. It highlights where the 2 new fuel islands will be added, and the canopy will be extended, and both design and materials will match the existing structure. Another key change is the permanent closure of an existing driveway along Fountain Square Drive. Even though this might sound significant, the driveway has actually been blocked off with cones for several years and is no longer in use. The closure is necessary because the entrance leads directly into the fuel station queuing lines. This makes the closure, with this closure, it'll help improve customer and pedestrian safety by removing a mid-block conflict point. It'll also align the landscaping and extend the sidewalk to match what's existing along Fountain Square Drive. All new trees and landscaping will also match the existing, so there's consistency with the rest of the parking lot. And then here are the recommended motions. The project was distributed to partner agencies as well as residents within 500 feet of the project site and noticed within the messenger. Staff and the applicant are here tonight if you have any questions.
Commissioners, any questions? Yes.
On the map, can you back up one slide? They're adding 2 islands on the approach on the northwest side. Why just 2 islands?
Rather than the ones that were proposed. Let's see if we can pull this up. And you're talking about the ones in the middle?
Correct.
Yeah, that's just existing. There was existing islands at that location that went north, or that went east to west. So the removal for these is just to add 2 to make room for those queuing lines. So if there were any more, it would reduce the number of lines that you can see with the arrows going up and down next to those. That'll give direct access to the existing fueling pumps.
Okay.
Any other questions? Bill?
I do. So we're expanding the lot line here. Originally was the lot line part of the community event center? And
No, they're
part
both,
of the same lot?
they're both owned by Sam's Club.
Okay, they're both owned by Sam's Club. Would that be affecting any of the parking count?
No.
For the shopping center or the event center?
No, in the staff report, and let me just pull this up too, we do have the numbers. In the existing use permit, the parking for the original approval was 580 parking spaces that were required by the zoning ordinance. The current proposal exceeds this with 626 spaces.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You are losing parking spaces though, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So the original proposal already exceeded that. That was the requirement. So I should have put in what was existing in there. But the original only required those 500 odd spaces. The original proposal exceeded it, and this will also still exceed what was originally required.
Do you know how many spaces are being lost, or?
Let me see. So the existing parking stalls provided is 702, and the proposal is 626.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, I guess I will open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak on this issue?
We have no speaker cards.
I'm sorry, we have one speaker card? No.
No
Oh,
speaker cards.
All right, seeing none, I'll close this public hearing. Any more questions from the commissioners? Okay. Bring up,
Thomas, I have a question. Ms. Lou, I looked at the stormwater management plan sections. Is there it says that there's going to be a stormwater, a watershed map. Where are the storm drains? Are they on any of these diagrams?
Good evening, Commissioners. Daniel Kerr, our Engineer and General Services Department. There are existing storm drains on the site. We generally try to hydraulically isolate the fueling locations. There also is a existing water quality feature on site that they're planning to tap into as a part of the project. Those maps and drawings and calculations are typically provided during the improvements phase. Right now, we're just working on concept approval.
That answers my question. It just seemed that it was very exhaustive and quite a bit on stormwater. And I was pleased to see it, so thank you, Ms. Lou.
all right. May I see the motions again, please? Do I have a motion?
Should we take them together or do them separately? Okay. I move to adopt Resolution 2025-02, determining that the project is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, under Section 15301, existing facilities, and 15302, replacement or reconstruction, and approve a use permit modification for the proposed fuel station expansion located at 7147 Greenback Lane, subject to the findings and conditions contained in the staff report and attachment 1A.
I'll second.
Moved by Commissioner Van Duker and seconded by Commissioner Flowers. Please call the roll.
You can take it all together, please.
Okay. So do all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on. Our regular calendar item this evening is we receive a presentation on a use permit for U-Haul. May we hear the staff presentation, please? I'm not good at reading lips. I'm sorry? What?
There's a recommendation by staff that you read the appeal language in case there are any.
I'm sorry, okay. Any determination by the Planning Commission may be appealed to the City Council by filing a written notice of appeal and the appropriate filing fees of $250 with the city clerk not later than 10 calendar days after the date on which the determination is made. Please, staff presentation on you all.
All right, thank you. Again, my name is Stephanie Louie, and Associate Planner with the city's Planning Division. And tonight I'll be providing the commission with a brief presentation on the U-Haul Neighborhood Dealer. So the proposed project is located at 7500 Auburn Boulevard at the intersection of Auburn Boulevard and Cook Avenue. The existing location has an established fuel station and convenience store. The property is zoned within the Auburn Boulevard Corridor Special Planning Area within the Lincoln 40 District. So the proposed use is classified as vehicle rental, and even though the U-Haul's been in operation for some time at this location, it was operating without an approved use permit. So this site came about through enforcement action at different U-Haul locations, which triggered this location to come into compliance. It's good to note that we've never received a complaint specifically for this site, but in order to come to compliance, approval of a use permit is required. So like I mentioned in the previous slide, vehicle rental requires a use permit within the Auburn Boulevard SPA within the Lincoln 40 District. And this project is a request for the approval to allow the operation of a U-Haul neighborhood dealer at 7500 Auburn Boulevard. So the applicant is proposing to operate a U-Haul neighborhood dealer in conjunction with the existing fuel station and convenience store. What is a U-Haul neighborhood dealer? So these are incidental to the existing use on site. They are smaller in scale than a traditional U-Haul location. They typically have smaller fleets and are intended to provide a local rental and drop-off location for customers. So for example, if you're moving to Washington, to Citrus Heights, you can rent a vehicle in Washington, drive it down to Citrus Heights, and then rather than dropping off a vehicle at a large-scale U-Haul location, you can drop one that's closer into your area or in location to this, at this site, for example. And just for some scaling, the closest large-scale U-Haul location to us is in Roseville or North Highlands. And so vehicles can be scheduled for rental pickup or return through U-Haul's website, mobile app, or in person at a physical U-Haul location or on-site. Rentals can be picked up or returned 24/7 using designated key drop-off boxes. Customers returning the vehicle can use a self-checkout system through the app or online. That means they can drive and pick up the vehicles on their own without assistance from staff, even though convenience store staff is available to help with parking and maneuvering of these vehicles. And no maintenance of U-Haul vehicles will occur on site. If there are any issues with their fleet, U-Haul will come and pick up the vehicles and take them to a location to get maintained. And so parking for the rentals will occur on an approved parking surface, which is highlighted in yellow. There will be a limit of 5 rentals on site at any time. The limit was made by staff to ensure that there's still enough room for customer circulation and access for those who are going to the fuel station and the convenience store. U-Haul is able to place a limit on this location, so if there are 5 vehicles already parked here and someone wants to drop off a vehicle, this location would not be an option for them to choose as a drop-off point. There are multiple entrances and exits, and most activity will involve customers picking up or returning a single truck or trailer rather than large volumes of vehicle movements. With the use being small in scale and pickup and drop-off being scheduled, there was no significant increase of traffic for this project. Additionally, as a condition of approval, staff is requiring landscaping along Cook Avenue across all frontage areas except for existing driveways. An example of that would be just those green lines that are presented along Cook Avenue. This is consistent with the Auburn Boulevard SPA design standards and is intended to minimize visual impact of the vehicle rental. And then here are the recommended motions. The project was distributed to partner agencies as well as residents within 500 feet of the project site, and notice within the messenger. The applicant as well as staff are here tonight should you have any further questions.
Commissioners, questions? Scott?
Ms. Louie, I can imagine the answer, but I thought I'd hear it from you or staff, that at the Sam's Club, there's the exhaustive stormwater management plans, and then the fire vehicle access plans, and then the fire vehicle roadway markings, and yet there's nothing here for the U-Haul, a much smaller property.
Yeah, for us, there's no expansion of any construction or expansion that comes with this project. It's mainly just parking of the vehicles. Typically, with the areas that were shown, it didn't show a significant increase or blocking of access in and out of this site, but I'll also let Daniel explain a little more.
Sure. You did excellent, Ms. Louie. Yeah, Daniel Kerr again, everyone. So there are certain limits of ground disturbance that would trigger various types of water and storm drain improvements. At this time, there are none. We did provide an additional option that those vehicles are no longer to be stored on the unpaved portions of the property. If they were to pave that portion of the property, make that choice, which is not on the table tonight, there may be some water quality elements or stormwater management that arise from that, but at this time, none are presented.
Okay, thank you, I understand.
Any more questions? All right, seeing none, I'll Open the public comment. Anyone wish to speak on this issue?
Hello, everyone. My name is Johnny Lozano. I'm with U-Haul. I'm actually the area field supervisor here in Northern California. Our client here with the property 7500 Auburn Boulevard, the only issue that we are seeing is within the landscaping element along Cook Avenue. Safety reasons is the only thing as far as not particular with the U-Haul. It's the actual fueling truck and trailer that comes through the property and exiting that property per se. And just the individuals of cars, not U-Hauls in general, but just the traffic flow, the way the pumps are going. That's the only issue that we're kind of seeing arise from this. So far as moving forward with that, we're all for it for U-Haul in assisting and complying with the new ordinances and landscaping and making that area look a little bit better and contributing to that. That's the only concern our client has, our partner at that facility, for that truck to go through there.
So you're saying you have a concern. Are you saying you want to change it in some way, or?
Not necessarily change it, maybe possibly modify it. As you can see with the slide there, the green that's highlighted, the larger portion
Right.
is along that corridor where the sidewalk is. It's not a squared curb. It's a rounded curb all the way through for that truck to come through and refuel the tanks and then leave the property without disturbing the customers flowing through that pumping area. And that's the only concern that the owners of the property have currently.
Okay, all right.
Where are the tank drops for that station?
The tank drops are currently right there in front of where the highlighted portion of the area is, where there is 4 black circles, and then below it some lighter ones. So the truck actually enters in that second portion right there, and then it will make the left-hand turn and exit through the furthest portion closer to Auburn Boulevard right there. So the planter where the green is, where the dirt area is not obstructing any sort of movement where the fuel trucks were to come in or customers were to come in. However, the longer portion would be obstructing.
Staff, how would you suggest we address this concern?
So in the condition, we did place that, that the 8-foot wide planting strip be installed along Cook Avenue, extending across all fronted areas except existing driveways. So this visual kind of just gave an example of what that looked like based on the drawings that we received from U-Haul with their site plan of the 3 entrances that they explained. But again, there is some flexibility with the length of the planter in terms of where those driveways stop and start.
So it sounds like, maybe a discussion with staff and trying to refine that. Maybe you can meet, come to an agreement.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I agree.
very good. Any more?
No, I think that'd be all.
Oh, question.
I do have one other question for Ms. Lee.
We got a huddle going on.
Yeah. I do have another question. So you had mentioned that this has obviously been existing for some time, and in this picture, I see quite a few vehicles parked here. Is the limit of 5 vehicles something new that's been added to this, and as opposed to the former, however many years it's been in existence?
Nothing's being added with this proposal. It's just basically coming into compliance with a use permit. So typically with vehicle rental, it does require a use permit to be approved at this location. If anything, this use permit is limiting the vehicles to 5 instead of 10. So in this area that's over here on the screen,
Right.
They were parking vehicles in here, and so what we required was that it needed to be paved. Currently, it's just a dirt area. The applicant agreed that they didn't want to pave that area, so now we're just limiting that, their parking area to what's highlighted in yellow. So if anything, it is kind of decreasing the existing U-Haul by limiting the number of vehicles that are allowed at this location.
If I may, real quick, regarding the last question, I'm not currently seeing any issues about access and servicing of those existing pumps and wells, but we'll absolutely be working with the applicant team to make sure that those are reasonably accommodated, just as they are today.
Is the quick serve property owner the same for the U-Haul?
Negative, no.
It's not. Who allows I'm all in favor of food trucks, but I would think the food truck that's always parked there would get in the way of the landscaping and I don't see any, I have never seen any landscaping there when I've driven by, but I would think the food truck would get in the way of any potential landscaping.
I would imagine so too as well. This is a discussion for the private owner who owns that property as well.
Oh, so the food truck is on the quick serve, not on the U-Haul. It seems to always be right in the border between the two. Okay.
I guess I wanted to clarify. I'm new, so I want to just clarify. If we approve this today, how much of the landscaping issue is negotiable? Like, are we locking them into something that they potentially can't safely meet, or are they going to have some ability? I like landscaping, I'd like it to stay, but also I want to make sure the trucks can get in and out of there, in and out safely.
Commissioner Kaufman, if I might, we have built in the flexibility where staff can go back and forth and negotiate what's reasonable based on the operational characteristics that they need. So we'll be reasonable as we get the final design. That'll be the next step. They'll submit a landscape plan, and we'll look how the trucks circulate and so forth to make sure it doesn't affect their overall operations, but also moves the boulevard in a more positive direction, which obviously we've spent a lot of money on fixing up Auburn Boulevard. We want to continue moving that needle a little bit.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, another question, sir.
It's more of a comment than question. When the packet came out and I looked at this site, I went on Google Earth and looked at the site, and I did see a couple vehicles parked on an unpaved surface. And the first comment I wrote is vehicle staging. Do we have an enforcement about keeping them to 5 vehicles? And it's like at a corner in Auburn Boulevard, so it's very visible driving down that road.
Yeah, very good observation, Commissioner. I saw the same thing as I did my site inspection for this permit, and that's the reason that engineering added that comment. If they wanted to continue to use that area for parking, it would need to be properly paved and taken care of, or they can choose to park in existing paved areas.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any more questions? All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
No more questions? I'll close the team over here. I'll close the public comment. Oh, boy. Any more deliberation or discussion amongst the commissioners? All right. Can I have the motions, please? Do I have a motion?
I'll do it. I move that we adopt Resolution 25-03, determining that the project is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, under Section 15301, existing facilities, and approve a use permit to allow vehicle rental U-Haul neighborhood dealer at 7500 Auburn Boulevard, subject to the findings contained in the staff report and the conditions of approval provided in Exhibit 1A.
And I'll second.
And again, Commissioner Van Duker made a motion, and Commissioner Flowers.
I'm sorry, one more second. I just want to make sure that you guys received the revised conditions that were on your dais. So I wanted to make sure that we were all basing our decision off of those revised conditions.
And this was in the staff report today, right? We got the email saying use the new staff report? That was in here, right? Because if so, I've already read it, I just want to
This was the condition number 9 was the one that was added after that email.
Gotcha.
So does my second stand? Okay.
As long as you're comfortable, all of you are comfortable with number 9 and there's no modifications, your second stance.
So you're voting on this motion and second, including the modified or the inclusion of item 9, Commissioners.
Yes.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Object? Very good. The appeal language. Any determination by the planning commission may appeal to the city council by filing a written notice of appeal and the appropriate filing fees of $250 for the city clerk not later than 10 calendar days after the date on which the determination is made. Any general correspondence, other reports?
Good evening, Commissioners. We didn't take a moment at the beginning, but I don't know if you've all met our newest commissioner, Mr. Kaufman, Scott Kaufman, so welcome to the commission. Hopefully you've had a chance to say hi and shake hands. And before you leave tonight, we do want to take a group photo. We need to update our website with your beautiful faces. So hang out for a minute when it's concluded. And then one more thing, I will be emailing you tomorrow some contact information for myself. So if you've emailed me over the past week and I didn't respond, I'm apologizing, but my email has changed. So I'll send you new contact information tomorrow. So when you get that, update your contacts. That's all I have.
Very good. All right, well, we've reached the end of our meeting. I would like to adjourn this meeting at 6:32. Thank you very much.